Okay, hello, welcome. I'm going to be doing a redraw of a drawing I did in 2021. Okay, this is the drawing in question. It's it's not bad for the skill level I had at the time. It fit, but like looking back on it now, there's a lot I could like improve upon, mainly like color, anatomy, the background as well. So those are the things I'm going to change in the speed paint. So fun looking at this again. I forgot to record the first portion of the sketch, so it's not here. But I did get some of the sketch in there. So what I did change was like their pose. In the first picture, the body was way too stiff, and I did not like it at all. So I changed that. I still kept where they're standing in place. It's just that I'm making it look a little bit more natural and not like they're like a stick standing up straight. Kind of like how I made the Witch of the Waste hunchback a little bit more, and how I kind of had the dog kind of like standing on the floor instead of him being lifted up by him. Also, Howl. I changed him to like kind of be leaning into like Sophie on her shoulder and stuff. I thought it was cute, so I went with that in that direction. What else? Also made it Sophie like I changed her hand position because like at first her hand was like in front of her, so you could like see her hand and it was a little weird. So I decided to kind of have it like she's hugging the Witch of the Waste and Howl together and kind of like just bringing them in closer and stuff. Because like the vibe I wanted from the first one was like cute family picture, and I still wanted to draw that just to have it not look so weird like in the first one. What else? What else? Yeah, also I added more detail like in facial features and the ears. In the first one I did have details, but I don't know, they were they were too simple to say the least. So I kind of changed that, gave more detail to the nose and eyes, have them not have the same expression too. Like in the first one, all of their eyes are closed, and well, except for Calcifer and the dog. But besides that, I still wanted them to like have more expressions, like variety. So I changed the expressions as well. What else? What else? Oh, the hair. I added more detail to the hair as well. Like it wasn't bad for like 2021. It wasn't bad detail in the hair, but 3 years have passed, so I can do a little bit better than that. So yeah, the hair is different. Hands as well. Oh my god, the hands. I was trying in 2023. No, 2021. I was trying. The hands were not the best. And um I can admit that. Like their limbs weren't proportionate to their body either. Like Howl's like not forearm. His like bicep was way too long. It was like long all the way to like down to his waist. And it looked fun. It did not look normal. So I changed that as well. Their hands were like too small. What else? Howl's leg was doing something weird. It was like bendy and stuff. Ooh, the more I look at this, the more I can see errors. But what else? Oh, the positioning of the feet. The feet were looking a little weird. I think like I think Marco's feet looked fine, but Howl's feet were definitely like pointing in a weird direction. Like they were pointing like inward to like his inner thigh, and it's like that doesn't look right. That's not good. What else? Oh, detailed in the clothing. The clothes were fine. They weren't bad, but I felt like they looked a little too flat, so I added more like wrinkles and stuff in the clothes for this one. You could see it, and the dog. The dog had no like texture wise, like so it gave him a little bit like a floof look to him. So he has like fur, you know, because obviously he's a dog. Needs the fur. I didn't add that in the first one. More detail in the Wish of the Waste's dress. I didn't add frills in the first one, I think because I got tired up to that point and didn't want to give more detail. Ooh, onto the coloring. The coloring was fine. I had a lot of fun with the colors. But in the first one, they were way too vibrant and saturated. There wasn't a lot of like variety when it came to like saturation and stuff. So I kind of like dimmed it down a bit. Like obviously there's still color, but it's not like very vibrant bright colors anymore. Like Marco's hair, like it wasn't bad, but it was straight up orange. He has brown hair. It's not orange, so I changed the colors that I used. Overall, I think it looks a lot better than it did in the first one. Oh, also variety in skin tone. That's one thing I did want to change from the first one. Because I felt like their skin tones like were matching up too closely. I know that they're all pale, but like I could like give a little bit of like color differentiation with like paleness. Like the Witch of the Waste has like a pink colored toned skin. Marco's like is a little bit more tanner, but it's like still pale than tan. And Sophie, her skin color was like a palish pink, like the Witch of the Waste, while Howl's was like a palish yellow. Like yeah, you could see here like the difference. So like they're all still pale. They're all white, but like there's a little bit more variety of white because like yeah, that was a little mistake on my part in the first one. Oh, also I give the dog its claws back. I didn't realize that I kind of declawed him in the first one. Oh, rendering also. In the first one there is rendering, but I think all I did for this one was like add like a dark blue as the shadow. And it's fine, but like it makes the Witch of the Waste's dress look a little funky, as well as everything else. I mainly only like cell shaded that, but for this one like there's actual variety in the rendering. Like I'm having yellow for like the highlights, red for like the blush tones on the face and the hands, and um like a blue for the shadows. I'm keeping that, but making it a darker blue than what I originally used. And it's all in I think in a hard light layer if I remember correctly. Adding detail to the hair strands, like having like hair variety and stuff. Yeah, no, I did not know how to render in 2021. I didn't even know what rendering was at the time. I think I only learned about rendering was because of a friend of mine who like asked me, like, "Hey, do you know how to render?" And I was like, "What's no, I don't think so. What's that?" And then started learning about it. So yeah, that definitely helped me improve. What else did I do? That I changed up? Having more detail in the face, like I said before. The shading, the blending. Oh, I added ruffles into the dress here. Oh yeah, they were hard light layers. Okay, so yeah, I used I use the colors and put them in a hard light layer to like add the rendering effect that I use. I don't really use that complicated of a rendering style, mainly because like I don't know, I just like to keep it simple with the rendering. Yeah, adding highlights to the hair. Oh, it's so fun because like I use this H-shape pattern that I like to do. Oh yeah, the shoes. The shoes, little shoe highlights. Oh, this was something that... Okay, yeah, so what I did was I added some texture to the top to overlay it with everything else later, once I'm done with everything. Okay, in the background. I forgot that I did... Okay, so I updated the background. I changed it. Same with like the colors, like I desaturated the colors so that they're not like too vibrant, so that it's a little bit more like kind of realistic. Like there's still color, but like it's not too hyper saturated. It has variety. And I'm glad with this one. I'm glad with the background because normally I just don't draw them. Usually I draw characters and I put them behind like a colored background, like fully flat colored background without any detail whatsoever. But this one I wanted to like have the background since I drew it, and decided to like add some grass texture by like making individual little lines. It took a little bit longer, but like it was worth it because it had the little grass texture that you could get like with a brush, but like I tried it with the brush at first and I didn't like it, so I decided like, you know what, I'm just gonna individually do that. But I didn't like do it everything by hand. I did copy and paste some that I drew and kind of like shifted it with like the distortion or warping tool. And shading. Ooh, the shadows. Since it's kind of weird where I can find the light source, I decided to have it just as the light shining on top of their heads and then casting the shadow below their feet. Doing the back mountain too. Just doing it with like a different green. Because I wanted to give that effect like it's like far away in the distance, so it's kind of like blending with the sky and stuff. So that's why it's like a different shade of green there. For a background, like this isn't so bad. Like there's a lot of people who can like do way better than me, but for me, standards wise, like this is a pretty good background because like I don't draw backgrounds. I don't like them. I prefer drawing characters than I do backgrounds. But like I've gotten better in the last 3 years. Ooh, and the clouds. I like how the clouds turn out. In the first one, they're not bad. They're pretty, but this one has a little bit more detail. Oh, so white flecks with chromatic aberration onto them. I saw someone do this like on a TikTok video and I really liked it, so I kept adding a little bit of it into my art. Oh, going back and coloring the line art. At first I thought I wasn't gonna do that, like coloring the line art, but decided to like maybe add it in. That's something I definitely didn't do in 2021. The line art I used was just black, pure black. Oh, another rendering thing. I wanted to add like an ombre color just to kind of overlay it, everything. And Calcifer, I forgot to add Calcifer up until the end. I don't know why, like I had him in the sketch, but I forgot to add him in when I was coloring everyone. Either way, like, it's fine, I added him in. changed the coloring and stuff. Okay, in the first one I made him more orange than red, which is he wasn't like that in the movie, so I decided to add more red to this one. As for his expression, I just didn't know what to do. Like in the first one, he has like the smile that he has throughout the film, like his like little mouth and stuff. And I wanted to have his eyes open, but I don't know. He looked a little creepy, so I decided just to close his eyes with the smile open. I like how in the movie, like, he doesn't really have like line art around him, so I kind of wanted to give that same feeling. Because like he's fire, so it's like he's just his form isn't like concrete like the others and stuff. So I did that. Now I'm rendering him, making him glow a bit. And like, slightly... I forgot the word, but like I made him a little bit like see-through. Going back with some more line art details that I forgot to add. Oh, I love how I did the dog in this one. The dog looks cuter. He looks happier too. But yeah, pretty much it. The last parts are like small details, but I was really happy with how it turned out in the end. I forgot how long exactly this took me, but I'll mention it at the end. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Unless, what else did I add? Oh, right, okay, so that was a texture overlay layer of, like... Okay, this was, like, my own texture, because I, got a photo of, like, corduroy pants and used that as the texture for the overlay, because I really like the little fuzzy look it gives it.
Ta-da! Okay, here's the finished piece. Close-up view of it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I feel like I have improved a lot in the last 3 years.
Either way, here's both of them side by side, just to see the differences, like, next to each other. Okay, so that's basically the end of the video. Thanks for sticking around this long. If you want to see more of my stuff, I'm on TikTok a lot, so you can see stuff there. Also, if you want to commission me for some art, I have my Ko-Fi open for commissions. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.